Hey trainers! So, welcome back to the channel. Today we're covering Pokémon Horizons episode 109, How Nakanuchan Makes the Ultimate Hammer. This breakdown is based on the detailed episode summary by Charlotte from blissyhusband.net, your #1 stop for Pokémon Horizons coverage. Now let's jump right into it. On the brave Olivine, the younger members of the Rising Volt Tacklers are listening to the Explorers admins Coral and Sidian promote the strong spheres to a super enthusiastic audience from Uruto's Rotom phone. Just then, Liko gets a message from Cervantes, who actually agrees to a meeting and asks to meet the group at an Exceed warehouse. With hope that he could help them with the strong spheres and the 6 heroes, Roy says they'll leave once Murdoch and Molly return. Dot heads back to her room to update the intel they have on the strong spheres, even though Gimmighoul really wants her and Quaxwell to collect Gimmighoul coins. Feeling a bit unhappy, Gimmighoul leaves the room and goes to the top of the airship, where it sees Tinkatuff looking for iron for her hammer in a scrapyard. Coin Chest Pokemon joins her and finds coins on its own, while Tinkatuff finds a piece of iron that totally satisfies her. When Gimmighoul gets intimidated by a Scrafty, Tinkatuff steps in and protects Gimmighoul. But when she returns to the iron she was working on, she finds out it's been taken by the workers, making the Coin Chest Pokemon feel pretty guilty as everyone goes back to the brave Olivine for takeoff. Meanwhile, Coral and Sidian are kind of wandering around town separately for their own leisure until they get totally surrounded by their fans. Luckily, they get saved by a woman who reveals she's their manager while she brings them to a flying taxi. The cabbie at first refuses to bring them to their destination because Paldea is the home of Corviknight's predators, but then he notices Coral, and that makes him way more willing to do as requested. Back at the brave Olivine, as the Rising Volt Tacklers travel to their own destination, a pretty depressed Tinkatuff looks over the road they're traveling and brightens up when she spots the iron she lost. Without any hesitation, the Hammer Pokemon jumps off the airship and lands on the back of the truck carrying the iron. When the truck stops, Tinkatuff gets distracted for a moment by a group of Squovit and Greedent before she realizes she's lost. So Dot notices that Tinkatuff has disappeared and, tells her friends to go on ahead while she and Murdoch start looking for the Hammer Pokemon. Meanwhile, Tinkatuff spots a Corviknight flying above and, honestly, gets totally mesmerized by its feathers. The Hammer Pokemon manages to hit the Raven Pokemon with a rock and starts chasing after it as the flying taxi ends up crashing. Dot and her remaining Pokemon spot the falling flying taxi too and rush off in pursuit. Coral and Sidian get out of the taxi just in time to see Tinkatuff grabbing Corviknight's feathers, right as Dot shows up. She's just as surprised to see the two explorers there. Coral questions why Dot is there, which makes Dot realize that the message Liko received is actually a trap. But instead of backing down, she decides to have a battle, since she's totally itching for one. Even though Sidian tries to stop Coral from battling, she goes for it anyway, having her Glalie use Ice Spinner. But Quaxwell kicks it right back with Liquidation. Sidian then calls out his Garganacl to join the fight, so now Quaxwell is up against 2 Pokemon all by itself, while Dot helps Tinkatuff with her hammer. The explorers quickly start to overwhelm Quaxwell, so Gimmighoul jumps in to protect Tinkatuff. Glalie ends up overpowering Gimmighoul, and Gimmighoul loses some of its coins near a feather. Faced with the choice between grabbing the coins or the feather, Gimmighoul struggles but manages to reach the feather and passes it along to Tinkatuff, who gladly accepts it. Finally, her new hammer is finished, but it turns out to be way too heavy for her, even with her trainer and friends helping. Just as Coral is about to have Glalie finish everyone off, Tinkatuff manages to lift the hammer, evolving into Tinkaton right then and there. Tinkaton ends the battle by sending Glalie flying with a brutal swing when Glalie charges in with another Ice Spinner. Dot is super excited and congratulates Tinkaton on completing her hammer. But then she remembers she needs to warn her friends about the trap set by the explorers. Little does she know, the others already know thanks to Indy and Rubella waiting for them at the warehouse. And that's it for episode 109 of Pokémon Horizons. We got an emotional story with Gimmighoul, an intense showdown with Coral and Sidian, and the incredible evolution of Tinkatuff into Tinkaton with her ultimate hammer. So, what did you think of this episode? Did Tinkaton's big moment live up to your expectations? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next episode recap. Until then, keep training hard and I'll catch you in the next one.